What's up, friends? This is Jazz bringing you another Pokemon Crimson Fury review. Today is Chapter 6/5, The Long Road. We begin with the whole team, Mark, Lizzie, Michael, Julia, Chris, and Cameron. Like, they're all discussing the fact that Clawjox is representing Cassius. They're furious because, well, Cassius is the enemy, and Claude is supposed to be a friend of the Kingstons, including Michael's grandfather James. So they can't believe what they're hearing. And Cameron also brings up the fact that all the adults tend to be watching Walter O'Hara, which, again, we'll get to him later in the series. This is his first appearance. And she turns on the TV to show what he means, like he's on all the time, and he's spewing lies, about Michael, because he's saying what everyone else wants to hear. Everyone is believing him about what he's saying about Michael and all the bad things, and Michael just keeps trying to tell him to turn it off, like he's getting angrier by the words, that Walter is saying. And eventually he gets so angry, like it is Arcanine and Mufasa, they're connected, through the Fury in a way, just like Ragnar is. So he tackles the TV and destroys it. And Michael, because of his Crimson Fury, it connects to his heart in a way too, so it hurts him to the point where it could kill him, right? If it becomes that, bad. So Michael has to rest, and Julia tasks everyone with different tasks, like, well, Lizzie volunteers and she goes on patrol, and they all do, different things, and Chris thinks, I'm going to have to deal with family, but what Julia wants him to do is to go and have fun with Michael, to bring him out, to get his mind off things, and he's like, that's much better than family, deal with the family. But to be fair, from what I hear so far about the family, we're a bunch of a-holes, right? So I would blame him in a way. Like, I was just quickly surmising, what was going on in that. Now to my favorite part, the kids. Right now, with Ryan, Matt, and Addie are always my favorite parts of it. Like, I love the story, but processing all that information, which is mostly in Michael and, in the adult area, like, I could relate more with the kids. So anyway, they're getting ready, they're setting up stuff because it's night, and they're all doing different things. Like Ryan is just sitting around, right, letting his Pidgey fly around, and his Eevee just, snuggle or hide away in, was it a bag, or I don't know what it is. Addie was trying to groom, her Venonat and her Eevee, and Matthew was getting his Pokemon Tyrogue and Eevee to, train, where Eevee is trying to pull a root out of the ground, which is adorable, and Tyrogue is just doing different exercises, including trying to do a one-arm push-up, which I guess fails in a way. So Addie starts talking about nicknames, right, because to bring bond with your Pokemon. Matthew thinks they're a waste of time, so he doesn't nickname his Pokemon at all. Addie decides at least to name her Venonat Zura, or Zura, I think, C-U-R-A, Zura, in a way, and she discusses names with Ryan, and Ryan decides on the name. Well, she brings it up and agrees to the name for his Pidgey, Marahoot, because so far none of them, Matt will never name his Pokemon, right, from what I know, but none of them name their Eevee yet, because Addie wants to wait until her Eevee evolves to name her Pokemon. And same with Ryan, I'm pretty sure he just doesn't know the right name for his Eevee. So at least two of the Pokemon have an identity, have a name, Zura and Marahoot. And I love the name Marahoot. It's so unique. I think there was a time I played my game and I actually named it in honor of that. But they were discussing what they were going to do, right, what their plans are. We learn that the Kingstons, all the Kingstons run the gym challenge, and Ron's like, he's sure they're not going to go easy on it. on them, right, just because they're family, which is a good thing. They don't get privileged because they're related. They're going to challenge them to their best of their abilities. And Addison even said, well, they're new trainers, don't expect them to breeze through it easy. And again, she's right. You need a lot, no matter where you come from, like, even though they're kinstings, doesn't mean they're naturally good. All of them. Like anyone, you need to practice to be good at something. I mean, yes, some people, again, this is off the topic a bit, but for example, I'm trying to think of a good example. I can't really, but some people naturally have a lot of knowledge. Right? Oh, I have a good example. My cousin, who, again, like me, has special needs, ever since he was a little boy, like when he was a little boy, he loved dinosaurs. And at the age of 6 or 7 or 8, he knew more than the person doing the demonstration at the museum. He had this knowledge naturally, I'm pretty sure. But that's just an example that sometimes some things come to them naturally, but you also still should practice that craft too. So they were just pretty much discussing that and talking about like the history, how there used to be 13 other families, I think, that worked with the gyms, but then they went and moved away from that and done other things. In a way, so then the Kinstons were left to the 10 gyms. So they were also discussing about, like, Matthew keep making fun of Ryan's Eevee, saying if that's going to be your lead Pokemon, then you're going to take a long time to do anything, right? And Ryan defending his Eevee, saying you don't have to do anything till you're ready. And he's like to Marahute, that's your job, right? You'll take care of Eevee. And Marahute agreed, right? Like to be the backbone at this point for the team. And it's funny. This chapter shows the big difference between Matthew's Eevee and Ryan's Eevee. Matthew's Eevee is the tough little guy. He's training vigorously, to be the best, right? Where Ryan's Eevee will hide of any little noise. Like, he's skittish, really skittish. And I think he was with the right Pokemon, in a way. Because when Matthew was choosing, obviously, his Eevee, the little one just scampered away from him. So I think he could tell the energy of Matthew. He wouldn't have been getting it good with Matthew. Ryan is patient, and he cares genuinely for his Pokemon. And the other Eevee, well, Addison's Eevee, I think, like, she chose, like, she was very, what is it? Was it proper? Or I don't know, very friendly? But it's interesting, they're all from the same litter, but they all have such different personalities, which I love. I kind of wish the video games were like that, even though they say, oh, they have this nature. You cannot actually see it, in a way. It actually interacted. Sometimes that's why I wish sometimes Pokemon were real. Because it would be cool to see their natures actually come into fruition, like what they act like, in a way. But anyway, let's get to the, no offense, N64. I love the story, but compared to the others, another boring segment. Well, not really. It's still more interesting than the beginning of it, where Michael and Julia were at the dinner, I think Barbone Bistro or something, and they were just talking about their past, and we learn about when Michael was exiled and how Julia felt she abandoned him because Giselle betrayed, was on the bad side, and the Michael she remembered, the sweet Michael, like he was still sweet and considerate, but the carefree Michael was gone. They took him from her in a way, and how she feels she can't forgive herself for turning her back on Michael when he needed him most and letting him be exiled. And it just goes to show you, like, for example, also at first how Giselle seemed every guy was swooning over her. She was a good trainer, she was gorgeous. Again, I don't think so, but I can't physically see her anyway. But see, we just learned the backstory about Michael in his exile, and the feelings what Julia had for how she treated him back then, in a certain way. But just when they're having a good night talking, him saying he shouldn't always have to be the one doing things for others, and it was becoming so sweet till guess who interrupts? Claude Jocks. Then they get into a debated argument about him betraying them and working. Like, he already kind of betrayed him when he represented, you know, when he was getting Michael exiled. He was the prosecutor against Michael, and how, like, things were just going downhill for their trust in him. And he's saying that he had a benefactor. He said, I'll take money if I'm giving it. Turns out it wasn't Elzar who paid it, but a woman named Courtney, which, again, I'm keeping my feelings from what I already know aside about her. But this, will they say, we'll see her quite often after a while. And she's going to become a big player in this whole series. But this is the first time we hear about Courtney and how she's obsessed with his scientific method, and also Michael to an extent. So he was paid by her to defend Cassius. So that is pretty much that I can remember where it ends. It ends with him going to his dinner after they talk about all this information, you know, about. But before I do, though, they also mention how Professor Crane is trying, and this was in the last chapter, I think, too. He's trying to make a machine to help remove the Crimson Brand, right? For Michael can get, you know, saved in a way, because this is hurting him. And it's so close to the time where the Crimson Fury, comes. It's been about, 12, 13 years, and it's every so many years that it'll come and do more damage. So they're trying to get things as, done as soon as they can before that. And Michael said, well, if you can't, then he's busy, right? He said that Professor Crane is busy and he's doing his best. He'll just have to fight longer. And that just goes to show you with Michael, he's strong-willed in a way. He does his best to fight everything. Like, he tries to be a strong person for everyone and a support for everyone. But the thing is, he doesn't always take care of himself the way he should. Like, as long as everyone else is okay, to heck with how he feels and his feelings. Like, I'm already kind of reading that from it, knowing the character of Michael. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe and help this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.